Is there any way I can get the sports ball game on this TV? You mean the one with the sign that says the other sports ball game will be on it? You're not exactly a Jeopardy contestant, are you? I'm kind of worried that you might own a driver's license. What can I get you? Drunk? Welcome to episode 13 of Behind Bars, Cocktails, and Wasted Nights. I'm your host, Greg. I've been working as a bartender for over 20 years, and over those years, I've seen a lot. My goal here is to share some of those high and low lights with you. Quick warning, this podcast contains sex, drugs, and some language that isn't suitable for anyone under 21 years of age, so you gotta have some ID. Okay, before we get started, you'll need a drink. For this one, I recommend the Leg Spreader. You'll need a spiced rum. I like Sailor Jerry. It's stronger than that other one. Peach schnapps, coconut rum. I like Rum Haven. It's made with actual coconut water. And pineapple juice. In a shaker tin filled with ice, combine 1 ounce of Sailor Jerry, 3/4 of an ounce of Rum Haven, 1/2 ounce of peach schnapps, that's hard to say, and 2 ounces of pineapple juice. Shake and dirty dump into a Collins glass. Garnish with a pineapple star and cherry. Or don't. It's your world. And as always, if you don't have that stuff, a shot of El Jimador and a key bump is the move. Or just go to the Packy, you lazy son of a gun. Folks, this week's episode is a little different. For this one, I'll be interviewing Buck, who went from my behind-the-bar enabler to my coworker. Don't worry, Buck's one of us. So, without further ado, here's Buck. Enjoy. Buck, how are you, buddy?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm super. Thanks for asking. I appreciate your concern for my well-being. So, Buck, you were a slinger at Trist, and now we work together, which is fucking crazy.
Full circle.
So tell me, Buck, how did you get fucking roped into this whole bartending shit?
Yeah, to the dismay of my family. I had a corporate job for a long time.
Oh, yeah? What did you do?
I was in executive sales, things like that. I was a headhunter, recruiter for a company. I also did, business-to-business sales. Worked for a medical device company for quite a while.
What did you sell in the medical device field?
Open heart surgery, capital equipment, and disposables.
What does that mean?
So basically when you go in for open heart surgery, everything that you do when you're on bypass, all the way through the pumps that pump your blood, all of the filters, tubing that basically acts as your circulatory system while you're in surgery.
Jesus Christ, and now you're slinging booze?
Now I'm slinging booze.
How the fuck did that happen?
I kind of went around this the opposite way.
Yeah, I want to get into medical devices.
It was a lot of fun.
This is a cock pump. Would you like to buy this?
Yeah, exactly. I watched about 150 open heart surgeries scrubbed in.
You watched them and you scrubbed in?
Oh, yeah, I was scrubbed in.
And you didn't puke?
No. It just smells like burning hair when they're cauterizing the skin when they crack.
Jesus Christ. Because I always think, I don't trust medical professionals because, listen, man, if you can cut into a human being, because I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts, if you can cut into a human being, you should either cum your pants or you should throw up. But, surgeons are, right there in the middle of the psychopathy scale, so they're like, I'm just going to slice this person open. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking crazy. And if you can watch it, I'm kind of nervous about you now, because you're on the psychopath scale.
Right,
you're a little bit...
Yeah, I know how to crack a chest open now for sure.
Jesus Christ.
I could probably cauterize you with a lighter and maybe a paperclip. I don't know.
All right, fucking MacGyver.
But, the founding father of open heart surgery was Dr. DeBakey, and I was able to watch him perform a bypass surgery in Texas one time. It was pretty cool.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Are you from Texas?
No, I would travel all over the country and take care of sales reps that we had out in the field. And I was based at the corporate headquarters here in Denver, so...
Jesus, man. All right, so you're selling all this tubing.
Yeah.
You're watching people get cut open. You're watching hearts get sliced. And your tubing is going in that you just sold.
Yeah.
And now you're selling Coors Lights and shots of tequila to degenerates like me.
Oh, absolutely. I was always a degenerate anyway, and I don't know. Really, I was hanging out at a bar, and they would need a keg change. I'd go change a keg. And obviously when I was in school, we were partiers, so knew how to change kegs and pour beers, that kind of thing.
Isn't that weird? Yeah. Like every bar I've ever worked at is because it's like the amoeba technique. Like you've been there and they eventually engulf you. And before you know it, you're like, am I working here now?
Yeah, exactly. At first it started off as like a couple free beers. Next thing you know, you're getting them ice or cutting fruits and, things like that. My last job was with Cisco Foods. I was a sales rep for Cisco Foods, selling to restaurants and bars, hotels, all that. So I did have a little bit of experience there. And, I worked in hotels when I was a kid in high school. So it was kind of in the family blood, I guess, with service industry.
So you have the servant's heart and the hospitality background.
Yes, absolutely. And it was funny because I would be in there and, here I am with a corporate job, pretty decent money, and next thing I know, I'm bar backing one night, and then next thing I know, I'm learning how to pour drinks, and then at one point I just said, fuck it, I'm quitting my corporate job, and I'm going to start bartending full time.
So for the audience at home, basically what this means is you're getting laid a lot.
I was getting laid a lot, and I think that's when I ended up finding that other, nose beers, I guess you'd call it, and, you kind of get sucked into that whole lifestyle.
Nose beers and punani, that's what gets you out of the corporate world and into the bar.
Absolutely.
All right, it's the immediate gratification.
Absolutely.
So we work together now, and I got to tell you, I was a little bit nervous because you know what I mean. Like we've hung out, we've chased the sun a few nights, and
absolutely.
I'm like, oh, geez, I don't know if I'm going to bring him into my world, but you've been nothing but professional and amazing. You're fast as hell, and I love the way you fucking sling drinks, man.
Yeah, it's been great working with you, and I think that and I know you probably had some reservations about working with me since seeing me at Tryst, and
I've never seen your professional side.
Exactly.
But it's there.
Yeah, it's definitely there, and I don't drink while I work. Back at the Tryst days, we obviously did.
You're a fan of the podcast. You're a friend of mine. So obviously we have a lot of things in common, and I know that you have some stories. You've seen a lot of shit, right?
I've seen a lot of crazy things throughout my career. So, especially, starting off when I was 30 bartending,
You started off at 30?
I started off at 30.
Jesus.
Versus, so a lot of these kids that are, doing it in college when they're 18 bar backing, and then they start bartending, whatever. No, I started bartending at 30 years of age.
That is a conscious choice.
And let me tell you, my family was really happy about it.
Oh, yeah? What did they say?
You're going to do what? Oh, my God. You're throwing away your life. You're not gonna, you're gonna be a bartender for the rest of your life now. Yeah, probably will. But,
subtext is, how are you supposed to take care of us in the nursing home now?
Exactly. And, and I think there's a stigma that goes along with it, with, certain people that think that you're going to just be a raging alcoholic drug head, but there's a time and place for all of that.
My favorite thing is when people go, oh, I've always thought about bartending. It looks like so much fun. It's like, that's because we did our job right.
Yeah.
Because it's a soul-sucking, depressing.
Exactly. You know what? And I always used to, make fun of people. They would come in with their bartending certificate, their diploma from the bartending college.
Cocktail weenies.
Oh, and they'd have it attached to their resume, and I would just crack up, And,
those are the ones that test you while you're working, by the way.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean...
Can I get an aviation? Do you really fucking want that, or you just want to see if I can do it because you want my job?
Oh, yeah, exactly. And, and I mean, really, they're going to show you what sour mix is and how to cut fruit at bartending college. Learn that on your own. Why would you pay someone to teach you how to bartend? You can learn it on your own. So
yeah,
I think it's a worthless class.
So you went from watching people spurt blood and surgeons cut into people,
sure,
to having some fun slinging some booze. Because, like I said, it is soul sucking and depressing, but the perks are amazing.
Yes, and it's a lot of fun at the end of the day. Sure, it sucks your soul sometimes, and sometimes you hate it, but
we have more fun in 1 month than most people have in a lifetime, to be honest.
Yes, probably even a week sometimes, depending on the week. We could have more fun in a week than someone's going to have. And, I think a lot of people get jealous of that as well, because they think that, especially back when I started at 30, bartenders were still looked at rock stars sometimes, You couldn't walk anywhere in Denver and someone not know you, so you'd go right to the front of the line, things like that. And there's perks to it, obviously.
I said that in episode 1 where I always as a student in college and I was a busboy, I looked to the bartenders like they were like Top Gun pilots or rock stars. They always had fat stacks. They always banged chicks. And I'm just like, what is this life?
Yeah, and back then especially, it's such a credit card-based world now, but back then you had... you'd make $500 in a shift, and you just had a fat stack of cash.
So, tell me about some of this debauchery. Tell me anything come to mind that you've.
I have quite a few stories, but I will simplify it into one great story that still to this day I remember it. I was probably 33 at the time. And I guess, I don't know, were MILFs and Cougars a thing back then? I don't know if it was...
It wasn't really till American Pie came out. Adam Hurst wrote it, and I think he coined MILF, or if he didn't, he brought it to America.
So, it was right around the time when, it was a few years old when Cougars were a thing. And, here I was probably 33. And these two...
If you're 33, are you getting a cougar or are you getting like a jackal?
I don't know. Or is it a gilf? I don't know. What's a gilf? Is that a great? I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody's like step relatives now.
Well, and especially now it's, I couldn't even say that I was banging a MILF because they're my age, So, or even younger than me, I guess now,
Well, thank God for daddy issues. But does that mean I have daughter issues?
Yes,
I don't even
exactly.
know.
Well, yeah, the daddy issues, and that's, I typically date younger still to this day, and, sometimes they are 20 years younger than me. And, you know what? I love girls with daddy issues. So keep having those daddy issues.
God, I never want to have kids. I'm so terrified.
So here I am, 33. I have a couple cougars that would always come in, and they were always flirting with me. And I was at a nightclub called Spill. And we had the second floor was a private kind of bar area, so it had two fire doors that could be closed and locked. And, there was some debauchery that went on up in that area. So I was bartending there one night. We opened at 10. So I showed up at about 8:30 to set up the bar, and then I was going to go out for a couple shots before we opened up that level, of course, as you do.
Right.
And these two cougars show up, and they're asking for me, so I let them upstairs while I was setting up, and, the two fire doors are locked, and... I might have been rolling at that point, or maybe just I got into some really good cocaine at that point, but the two ladies were rolling their face off. So here they are just,
pupils the size of drink coasters.
Saucers. And, so I made them a couple cocktails, and, they were always flirting with me. They were always really touchy with me, grabbing my ass, trying to rub my dick. So here I am, setting up my bar, and, they're hitting on me big time.
Just getting sexually harassed.
Yes, I was, and what do? You can't really call them on sexual harassment.
Plus, you want to be sexually harassed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me tell you about harassment.
Tell them no, yeah.
Harassment so much to me, I couldn't wait to grab it again.
Exactly.
So these girls are up there rolling face.
Make them a couple cocktails. I finished setting up the bar. One was a brunette, one was a blonde. The blonde was a little bit more attractive than the brunette, but they were both really pretty. And so the blonde and I start kind of making out a little bit.
Dear Penthouse.
Mm-hmm, yeah, total foreign material here.
Yeah,
so,
sorry.
You're the only one that's allowed to use this material, by the way. So,
okay.
But yeah, so, we start making out, and, the blonde and I are going at it pretty hard. Probably had her shirt off at some point with her tits hanging out. But at one point, next thing I know, I feel another pair of hands come around from behind me. And she's, grabbing the old shaft. And
folks, I got to jump in here for a second. Grabbing the old shaft? You kidding me? Anyway, back to Buck.
And I look around, and it's her friend. So next thing I know, she's around the front, and, we're all making out together, and, that kind of thing. And it was starting to get pretty heated. Clothes are coming off, and, so we're sitting right at the bar, and... I think that, I probably took a break real quick to do a shot,
you're on the clock. You need a little break from all this. Yeah.
Actually, I hadn't clocked in yet. I just came in to set up, but I wouldn't clock in until, it was time to open at 10.
Heavy petting and cutting fruit off the clock? He's charitable, folks. Sorry, I keep butting in. Back to Buck. Okay.
So, but, I think there was some cocaine that came out. I was probably snorting some off a couple nipples, or as you do typically, and so we start getting pretty bad, and
Okay, this is probably a little late, but I'm just going to warn you. What follows is pretty graphic, so parental guidance is advised.
Well, there was some fingers involved in both of them at the same time.
Jesus.
I had them both on the bar.
Right.
And it's like the double whammy kind of, I don't know what.
Sure, you were DJing.
Yeah, it kind of looked like
spinning the vinyl.
Exactly. I was doing like the double,
Sure.
like a piston.
This is, just so everybody knows, this is a audio podcast, but Buck is physically demonstrating what's going on, so you can only imagine.
Doublefisting.com.
Okay.
So anyway.
He's got a membership. So you don't have to be that... Okay,